You know what they say, all the world's a stage. And we're taking you to some of Metro Vancouver's best today on The Express.
On today's show, Theater Under the Stars.
I've played outside before, and it sort of feels like you're shouting to a void. This is a really nice space.
A Raincity street dance.
The deputy have tried on a number of occasions.
The BC Renaissance Festival.
If you survive this kind of performance, you can survive anything, really.
Here she is singing her first #1 hit. Here's Miss Patsy Cline.
A closer walk with Patsy Cline.
Well, that's just my way.
See that and more. Local expression.
The weather is extremely turbulent for travel. Well, that sounds to me like a good reason to stay right where you are.
Welcome to The Express. I'm Johanna Ward, and this is our Summer Theatre Special. We're starting things off with Theater Under the Stars here at the Malkin Bowl in Stanley Park, where this season a classic musical, Bye Birdie, is merging with the world of social media.
Big Summer is brought to you by Cultus Lake Water Park, BC's #1 water park.
Theater Under the Stars cast energetically rehearse on stage for this year's production of Bye Birdie. But what happens backstage is just as entertaining.
Did they really get pinned? Hi, I'm Ursula Merkel, here with your weekly Ursula Update.
Was he too shy? Well, I heard they got pinned.
Yeah. The Ursula Update is a little PR spot we've been doing where I, as my character Ursula, interview members of the production team or cast members or do behind-the-scene tours.
Until then, this is Ursula Merkel signing off, and we'll see you on opening night.
Shell approached me and said, I'd like you to do this interview. Would you be willing to do it? And I was like, of course. It's so much fun.
Doris, we've failed. Gotta be big. Okay.
Director Shell Piercy wanted to use social media as a way to promote this year's production.
Shell, how's this for the bar? It's fine for me. So it seemed like she would be our way to be kind of accessible into the show. So she does a little weekly update that's quite adorable.
She's ambushed everyone from the set makers, the choreographers, and of course, her other castmates.
I'm finally interviewing the man himself, Mr. Eric Gow, who plays the exciting role of Conrad Birdie.
Ursula is probably Conrad Birdie's #1 fan. She's very enthusiastic. He's pretty much the love of her life, and so the fact that he's coming to Sweet Apple is a very big deal.
Anything, Ursula.
Can I have your autograph?
It's a really fun, also busy environment, and there's so much that gets done, and there's people who don't always get the recognition, so it's always great to see that, because there's so much that's always happening, and to see how much goes into a production makes it that much more special.
She's dedicated to playing Ursula and doesn't break character.
I love that song too. Conrad Birdie sings it.
I think Courtney's doing a fabulous job. She's super, super funny, and I think she's just perfect for it.
She is committed. She is very committed.
The Ursula Update might have even inspired her to consider a career in TV.
Well, you know, that's where all the money is, so I've kind of always hoped to maybe transition into film at some point.
Thanks so much for being on with us today.
This has been a really good opportunity, I think, to maybe see what it would be like.
In Vancouver,
this is Ursula Merkel signing off.
I'm Melanie Pineda for The Express.
And we'll see you on opening night.
Big Summer is brought to you by Cultus Lake Water Park, BC's #1 water park.
You can find the Ursula Update on the Tuts YouTube page. Bye Birdie runs until August 20th here at the Malkin Bowl. It alternates nights with another classic musical, one renowned for its Cole Porter hits, its antics, and even its hat tricks.
I play Moonface Martin in the show, who's the comic relief. I make people laugh for money. I don't contribute much to society.
Andrew Cowden was such a find, and he plays Moonface, public enemy number 13.
I get to talk in a cheap New York accent and do all the funny with the gun and the running around, and you do that.
If you ever down a well, ring my bell.
Andrew is a real clown, and he has a phenomenal bag of tricks, and he's a great tapper and a great comedian, so we're so lucky to have him.
And Andrew feels just as lucky to be a part of the cast of such a classic musical, Anything Goes.
This is one of the great shows in the musical theater canon. Cole Porter, so you can't get much better than that in terms of great melodic music.
It's a big hit on Broadway right now, so it's a real favorite.
The script's been redone about 47 times since the 1934 version, but so it's gotten better and better with each incarnation.
I think that it's one of the best books, as in best scripts written. It's got great cheesy comedy, it's got some flirtatious 1930s moments, and lots of romance. It's a beautiful era.
And then there's the beautiful setting of Stanley Park. Andrew admits he had a moment when he first saw the setup.
I thought, wow, I hope they can hear us.
All in jest, of course. After 65 years, Tuts has worked out the controllable kinks.
This is a really nice space, and with great sight lines, and yeah, no, this other than the giant moths flying in your face when you got the spotlight on, yeah, it's fine, you know. They were huge out here, they're like this.
Hard to tell if he's in character or just a character, but either way, this is Andrew Cowden's chance to shine.
I get the best part of the show. I do. I get to all the funny bits. It's great.
Anything Goes runs until August 20th here in Stanley Park on alternating nights with Bye Birdie. Now up next on our summer theater special, it's a Raincity street dance. But before you start throwing things at me and your TV, don't worry. It's about the souls of generations who have danced in the rain in Vancouver, not about calling up more rain.
En means both circle and fate in Japanese. A Raincity street dance, Raincity's Vancouver, and a street dance means it's outside and we're dancing.
Dancing to show the interconnection between lives, relationships, and history.
We all dance together, whether we like each other or not. We all actually work and live together. We have influences on each other, and every person we meet influences us in other ways, as well as the people that lived in this neighborhood before.
And a Raincity street dance is a culmination of Colleen's greatest passions, modern theater and classical Japanese dance called Nihonbuyo.
The things that make it what it is always playing a character, always playing a gender. There's a lot of pantomimic and descriptive gestures in the form, so you're always telling a story and dancing to lyrics.
There's a real sense of things arising and then passing away just as quickly, and so I think that it will be really moving for the audience to watch that.
With the help of projectors big and small, the dance incorporates images of people and places from Vancouver's downtown east side, creating an ethereal view of the city's poorest neighborhood.
Somewhere, this is art.
Not really thinking so much about politics as much as just the community. No matter where you're coming from, who you are, you should be able to appreciate the kind of human nature aspects of the piece.
And at the very least, it's a creative display of lights, sound, and movement, something everybody can enjoy.
Well, this performance, I just hope it reaches people and touches people and makes them smile a little bit.
Because that's what theater is for, whether you're in Japan or the Raincity. I'm Tim Chung in Vancouver for The Express.
Nihonbuyo dance is really popular in Japan, especially during the summer months where they're performed at large outdoor festivals. You're watching our Express Summer Theater Special, and we have more outdoor theater for you from right here in BC coming up. After the break, the BC Renaissance Festival.
Fortunately, pirates don't fight fair.
Reconciliation!
Bart on the beach. You're watching local TV on The Express.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by...
The Express is brought to you in part by Plum, fashion supplier to host Johanna Ward.